Google Pixel 5. Google Pixel 5 leaks and news. The only real Google Pixel 5 leak so far actually relates to the Pixel 5 XL, and it's a big one. A high-quality render showing a supposed prototype of the phone has leaked, which you can see below. As you can see, the camera design is rather different and likely to be divisive, but the source claims this is just one of 3 prototypes, and the others have a more conventional square camera block. One of the 3 lenses pictured here is apparently wide-angle, which would be new for the range. As for the front of the phone, that isn't pictured but is apparently similar to the Pixel 4, including a large top bezel, though this is apparently slightly smaller this time. Check back for more Google Pixel 5 news and leaks, as clearly we're a bit early into the process to see anything concrete. That should change over the next few months and maybe even weeks, as manufacturing of Google Pixel 5 prototypes continues. Google, last year, actually provided its own leak of the Pixel 4 in shadow in June, so we can keep our fingers crossed that it spoils its own surprise when it comes to the Pixel 5. Stay tuned for more updates as that happens. The Google Pixel 4 refined on its predecessor, but it left a lot to be desired in certain very obvious areas. Read, the Pixel 5 battery must improve. But there are also features and perks Google still hasn't put into its flagship phone. Here's everything we want to see in the Google Pixel 5. 1. Expand the Google Pixel 5 battery. By far the biggest gripe about the previous Google Pixel phone was its short battery life. While capacity isn't necessarily indicative of how long it takes for the percentage to tick to zero, the 2800 mAh battery is small by 2019 standards, and many users found the battery dying before the end of the day. The Google Pixel 4 XL fared somewhat better with its 3700 mAh capacity, but even that lasted a bit more than a day. If Google wants to play with the big phone boys, it has to keep up with the 4000 mAh and greater batteries out there. 2. Bring back the fingerprint scanner. The Google Pixel 4 has no rear-mounted fingerprint scanner like the Pixel 3, nor does it sport an in-screen finger sensor like many premium smartphones as a backup biometric. All it had was facial recognition, and it isn't the best. Some might find it easier to use, but others are likely frustrated to have to stare into the phone until it unlocks. In the Pixel 5, we'd prefer both facial recognition and a physical or screen-mounted fingerprint sensor. Heck, just put a button on the back, we're not picky. We just want to be convenienced. 3. Add an ultra-wide lens to the Pixel 5. Google, we come on bended knee. We entreaty. We plead, make like every other Android flagship in 2019 and give us an ultra-wide lens on the Google Pixel 5. The addition of a telephoto lens was very welcome, justifying a lot of hopes that a second lens would enhance the Pixel's portrait photography and expand its versatility. But this could be so much better, and give so much more range, with an ultra-wide camera. We can, and will, still dream. 4. Give the Pixel 5 a micro SD slot. A minimum 64 GB of storage, expandable only up to 128 GB. Is this a joke? Google's not-so-subtle nudging for users to offload their storage to the cloud is pretty egregious. People store locally for reasons, especially when they don't have reliable signal. It's frustratingly limited not to cheaply expand what's typically the easiest auto-include in an Android smartphone. Truthfully, we'll doubt it'll be a part of the Google Pixel 5. It wasn't in any previous Pixel phone, nor was it part of the Nexus series. But there's ample reason to desire a micro SD card slot. 5. Stick with the weird design. The Google Pixel 4 smartphones sure do look a bit odd compared to its dual-finish, single-hued predecessor. They're bare-backed except for a questionably stylish camera block, with a matte glass finish encased with a rubber frame around the edges. Odd, distinct aesthetic. And, of course, a return to a top bar bezel instead of a notch. All in all, the Pixel 4 devices are far from conventional Android phones, far from the nearly full-screen sleek flagship phones put out by Samsung or Huawei, but darn if they aren't unique and particular in a market of gleaming black rectangles. For more updates, subscribe and share this video.